Florida Explorer here. We're out in the middle of the big scrub country of the Ocala National Forest. This is a very pristine example of ancient Florida, natural, original Florida. That's not to say that there weren't communities here at one time, which of course there were. They just built in wood and very little concrete, and those communities all sort of been absorbed back into the wilderness. The only monuments that we have are the cemeteries, which is one of the things that makes cemeteries so compelling, especially cemeteries which are literally out in the middle of nowhere. This cemetery is compelling and significant for two reasons. The first is it's here, it's just here. And as we learned earlier, most of these people died in some horrific, violent manner. But the other reason is, or I should say the second reason is because these people moved here in the middle part of the 19th century in this area to start their lives and to I should say to relive their lives. This guy served his country in the war, and after the war was over, he moved his family down here to start over. And his name was Long, Reuben Long. We're going to go in now and take a look at that. The third, and probably what most literary people would consider to be significant about this place, is that this was where Marjorie Rawlings came to research a lot of her work. She spent a week here with Sarah Jane Long, who was the daughter of Reuben Long, and this is the Yearling Trail. So she was told the story of the yearling, and she based the book The Yearling on that. Later that was made into a movie, and I'm not sure if it didn't win an Academy Award. Gregory Peck, 1947. In any event, she lived in this area very, very near here, so she traveled through here and spoke with a lot of the pioneers and that sort of thing during that time frame. So we're going to start off and look at this. This is Reuben Long, like I said, served his country faithfully. He's a private, Company G in the 8th Regiment. When the war was over, he moved his people here to start over. That's his daughter. These are all basic kinfolk, but again, as we were reading on these little inscriptions, the date and the date of death and the date of birth are listed, but which I find unusual, at least in my experience, is that there's also the cause of death, which is, it's not funny, but it's actually quite tragic. As the lovely research assistant was pointing out earlier, this one died in a forest fire, early 1900s. This one died of heat stroke. Oh yeah, that's my favorite. In days before air conditioning and cotton, everybody dressed up to the nines all the time, and poor guy died of heat stroke. This one died, his clothes caught on fire while he was playing near a fire. Let that be a lesson to you. Died January 85, doesn't say when, from what. So anyway, in a world of Walmarts that probably will never deteriorate, and the world of plastic which will never deteriorate, these people live their lives in wood. And again, the forest has subsumed their remains, the remains of their lives, with the exception of these monuments to their having lived here. And this is why we come out and see these places, and this is why we research this, and this is why we spend our days and hours and everything else trying to get a glimpse of what made these people tick, and what motivated them, and what drove them, and the incredible power and strength that they had to forge a life in this with just their hands and a saw and a hammer. So that's it for now. Next week we're off to Disney.